Good day, everybody. We're back with another episode in our explainer video series. This week, we'll be talking about how to find out what you're paying your advisor. And no matter how many people I talk to or how much information is out there on how to kick the tires to see how much you're paying your financial advisor, I'm always amazed that so many folks don't understand what they're paying, or their advisor is outright not being transparent or forthright with the total all-in cost of investing. So we're going to arm you with some tools, a one-page challenge, and also an interactive spreadsheet that will allow you to see the layers of fees and maybe even find out that you are paying more than you expected and uncover any conflicts of interest that could exist in your advisory partnership. So I'm going to share my screen. This is a spreadsheet that we've created because despite evidence to the contrary, your advisor is charging you a fee. So there was a study back in 2018 by Sorelli Institute, and it pulled a pool of advisory clients, and 42% of those advisory clients thought that their advisor did not charge them a fee. Rest assured, your advisor is charging you a fee. And the best way to think about this is if you work for if you work with a large financial institution, a publicly traded company, their mandate is to maximize shareholder value. So unfortunately, you're not special. The Wall Street firms, the publicly traded firms are very much for profit, and you are paying a fee. So the good news is, with a statement and a couple of our tools, you should be able to find this information yourself. Your advisor should also be forthright with this information. I can tell you it's a major red flag if you ask your advisor what your all-in cost of investing is and you do not get an answer, or they give you a answer, but it's a non-answer, okay? I would encourage you to run, not walk, and find a new advisor, okay? This is 2021. There's more options than ever. There's low-cost options. The way we position Pure is a low-cost alternative for people that want human advice, but they don't want to pay up for it. So think of us as a go-between between a low-cost Vanguard, where you're getting a CFP in a call center that's managing 10,000 clients, giving all the same advice. That's fine if you're fee sensitive. And then at the other end, you have the insurance companies, the Wall Street firms, the big wirehouses that charge over 1% for a more personalized service. So we're kind of a hybrid of that. Okay, so you all should be able to see my screen. Cost of investing calculator. This is an interactive spreadsheet that we've created here at Pure. The fee tier that we'll be comparing is the industry standard fee of about 1% versus the Pure Portfolio's all ETF fee of 0.6%, 65 basis points to be exact. So again, most advisors charge a standard 1%, and we just have $1 million in here. We can change this, which is kind of nice. And we'll include this in the notes below. So let's just go ahead and change this for exercise sake. So we'll put in 500,000. So this account fee is the fee that your advisor would charge you, okay? So you walk into your neighborhood financial advisor. This is the fee that they would take to manage your assets. Maybe they do financial planning, give you ongoing advice, estate planning, yada, yada. Okay, this is pretty standard, okay? What's not standard is the fee you're paying to own the assets. So you've got your advisory fee that you pay to your financial advisor. And then within your portfolio, especially if you own mutual funds, each one of those mutual funds will have an embedded expense ratio. What's tricky about this is this expense ratio will not be on your statement. The fund company takes it out once every day to smooth out the effect, and you wouldn't even notice it if you're not looking for it. Most mutual fund expense ratios run between 0.4% and some go as high as 2%. So you really need to be mindful of this cost. And if you go to morningstar.com, type in your ticker symbol. So all the ticker symbols in which you own, all the funds in which you own will have ticker symbols you can find on your statement. Go to morningstar.com and just type a few in just to see what comes of it. Altogether, your portfolio will have a weighted mutual fund expense ratio across from it, right? So if you own 10 funds, 10 different mutual fund expense ratios, we can figure that out based on how much you have invested in each fund. I just put 0.7% in here. Again, this is interactive and we can change it, but this is quite common, so I'm comfortable with this. So now we're up to the 1% you pay your advisor plus the 0.7% that you pay to the mutual fund expense ratio. And remember, you pay this fee, not your advisor. So you're paying 1.7% on 500,000, which equals $8,500 a year. Okay. That might surprise you. That might not surprise you, but most people like when we present this information in both percent and dollar amount. And you can see as I change the dollar amount, this number changes. So this is a really nice spreadsheet. So you can see not only the percent, but how the dollar amount changes as the assets under management change. So I'll go ahead and make this uniform. Okay. So now let's look at Pure's fee schedule. Okay. Much lower, about 35% lower than the typical advisor fee. That's fine. We don't use any mutual funds, and that's a different conversation. It's probably a different explainer video on why we do not use mutual funds, but we use individual stocks, ETFs or exchange traded funds, and individual bonds to build out our client portfolios. And ETFs are, in my opinion, and in many other people's opinion, vastly superior to mutual funds. In my opinion, there's no reason to own a mutual fund in 2021. They are dinosaurs. If we're talking cars, they're a 1975 Buick Skylark that's on its last leg, while an ETF might be a Tesla or a very efficient EV car. So when we add up the Pure Portfolios management fee plus the weighted average of the ETFs in which we own, we're at about 0.7 or 75 basis points, a little less than 0.8%. Okay. You can see the difference between the industry standard fees of almost $13,000 and Pure's fees of about $5,600. And keep in mind, we also do financial planning, give estate planning advice. We do all the stuff that your traditional advisor does. We just understand that this old model of charging clients is antiquated, it's expensive, and it's obsolete. There's not a lot of value in this fee approach or this fee tier. So this is a more modern fee approach. You know, again, we feel humans want advice. They really want customized, personalized advice. They want a relationship. They just don't want to pay up for it. And on the other end, using a low-cost provider can be impersonal, right? You're getting the same advice. You're working with someone that you'll never meet. You're talking with different people. It's very informal. So we feel that our model is kind of the best of both worlds. All right, so you see the difference per year. So this is what you would save between a traditional advisor and Pure Portfolios. The magic is in the compound interest. Now we all know what compound interest is. Your money makes money, but that also works in reverse, right? When you're paying outsized fees every year, that negatively compounds, and we call it fee drag. So we're going to assume between our 1% fee tier and our 65 basis point fee tier, we're going to assume the same return of 6.5% between the traditional advisor and the Pure Portfolios advisor. So exact same investment performance from a gross standpoint, from before fee standpoint. After fees is much different. So net of fees, 6.5% minus 1.7% equals a net of fee return of 4.8%. Okay. We extrapolate that out based on 750,000 invested over 5 years. Our money grows nicely. Over 15 years, even better. Over 30 years, we'll have over $3 million. That's not too bad for a net of fee return of 4.8%. Okay. Again, same gross returns, but our net of fee return, since our fees are lower, our net of fee return is going to be higher. So we're doing the same 6.5%. Minus 0.75 equals a net of fee return of 5.75%. Notice the difference after 5 years. We're ahead by 43,000. After 15 years, over 200,000. And after 30 years, $950,000. So that's the perils of paying up for advice. Again, we encourage people that think all advisors are the same or are comfortable working with their advisors. You have to understand the fees that you're paying because it does stack up over time, okay? And if your advisor is not forthright, you can't find the information, that's a major red flag. One of the things that we really like, the state of Massachusetts actually mandated this a few years ago, and we think every state should have to do this. But if you don't know what you're paying your advisor, stick this worksheet in front of them and you can go ahead and take it right off of our website. I'll include the link to the blog below. But it basically itemizes every fee that you could be paying an advisor and talks about the fee amount, or it itemizes the fee amount, the frequency that fee is charged, and what that fee entails as far as service goes. And then this is really key, a third-party fee. So this is like the mutual fund expense ratios. If your advisor uses any third party, like a separately managed account or a hedge fund or private equity fund, you want to understand the fees that you're paying those third parties. Because remember, you're paying your advisor a fee, they're turning around and handing that money off to a third party who's charging you a fee. That's a way to stack up fees, and it's not exactly tax efficient either. So there's multiple layers to this. You have your advisor fee, the cost of managing the asset fee, or cost of owning the asset fee, or the third party fee, and then taxes are the last part. But let's just focus on the first two parts first. And then here you can kind of understand this last box here, additional fees and costs. So commissions, any fees to buy or sell, custodial fees, any fees to hold the assets, any annual account fees, any closing fees. If you're buying individual bonds, is there a markup to buy or sell those bonds? And then again, on the mutual fund and ETF expenses. So all of this is a very transparent look at your all-in cost of investing. It's not just the 1% that you pay your advisor. I would encourage you to understand this. Again, there's very few things that an investor can control in regards to their portfolio, right? This is the low-hanging fruit. So you can control the fees that you're paying. You can control taxes. You can control your behaviors in the financial planning process. All right. So optimize the things that you can control, and it starts with what you're paying your advisor. I'll include the link of the blog that this one-page challenge is included, and take ownership of this, because even if you've worked with someone for a long time, you think you trust them, you think all advisors are the same, I can tell you in 2021, that's a dangerous conclusion. So thanks for watching, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.